at the 2015 Moparpalooza. Are you guys ready to have some fun? Yeah! Woo! So I have Carlos here, and as you can tell, he's such an interesting guy, and I had to stop and find out what his car, what he's all about, and give us the lowdown.
All right, my car is a 2010 SRT8. It 6.1 liter, 430 horsepower to the wheels. I have it hydro dipped with orange skulls inside the motor area and inside as well. As you can tell, I got the halos, custom painted wheels, and basically she's all stock right now.
So what's her name?
Her name is Donna.
Donna. I would think, I mean, black and orange at first I thought, okay, it's got to be something.
Well, my theme is
Halloween.
trick or treat.
It is?
It is, so good call.
Yes.
My theme is trick or treat. But her
great.
name is Donna because the 70s show, Donna had red hair.
Yeah, right.
And my little nephew was like, call her Donna, and he's like 6.
It was so cute. It was like, I had to do it.
Had to go with it.
And then how'd you come up with your attire?
Basically, this is just the way I dress every day. But I do wear a lot of orange, because I love matching my car wherever I go. So orange is one of my favorite colors.
Oh, you nailed it.
Thank you.
You nailed it. Thank you for sharing with us.
Yes, ma'am.
I just am in love with your car, and you've got a really cool history with your car. Can you tell us a little bit? How did you get this car?
Well, I bought the car in April 1970. At the time I was in Pensacola, undergoing training there in the Navy. And I came a little bit crazy and took my wife's car and my existing car and traded them in on the Daytona, because I was kind of a NASCAR guy. And brought it home to her, and she was 8.5 months pregnant, so she couldn't catch me when she said, "What in the world did you bring that car home for?"
But she didn't know that you were doing it?
She didn't know I was doing it, yeah. Pretty crazy.
And you're still married?
Yeah, still married, yeah. She's the only thing I've had longer than the car. And so she's just about settled down after 45 years or whatever it's been, yeah.
So you're original owner.
Yep,
and you
owner.
Bought it for how much?
About $5,000. I'd have to look. I've got the actual purchase thing in the trunk, the actual bill of sale, whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's about $5,000, and now it's probably worth more than that.
Just a little.
Just a little.
How many miles does it have on it?
It has about 88,000 on it. It was our only car for a while, so we drove it. It's been across the country about 4 or 5 times. And I mean, my feeling is, a lot of people don't drive their cars, and I drive my car. I figure, why have I got it? And I mean, quite frankly, when I get in, it's kind of a time machine. And I grow more hair, and my waist gets smaller, and it kind of takes me back.
Yeah. Does she feel the same way?
No, she's a little stubborn. She's from the hills of Kentucky, and she's a little stubborn streak in her, but we're getting over it. So anyway,
45 years later.
45 years later, yeah. So it's been a lot of fun.
Did you do anything to it through the years? What have you had to do to upkeep it?
Well, really nothing. It's pretty much stock. Unfortunately, a couple of times I have had, because I do drive it, I had some minor altercations with it that we've had to get fixed, and it was repainted a couple of years ago. That's why it's a really nice finish on it now.
Repainted to the same original.
Yeah, same original color. Okay. It's all pretty much original, and I did put electronic ignition in it. That's something that I always recommend to people, because the old points stuff, that was always something you had to adjust, and it was kind of a pain in the neck. Electronic ignition so much easier and better. So that's about it.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you.
We're here with Paul, and he's kind of the reason that all this happens and gets put together. So, Paul, what is your title? What do you do with Moparpalooza?
I don't really like titles. I started the event 8 years ago. The first one was in August of 2008, and so this is the the 8th year that we've been doing this. It started out with 80 cars, and today we're over 600. So.
Wow. And how do you gauge by how much it's grown? Is it by how many cars, or is it by how many groups?
I mean, cars, but really the most important thing is the donation to the Fisher House, which is the charity that we're raising money for today. We did some auctions on eBay for some items that were donated, and that brought in some substantial donations. We've had some corporate sponsors come in and put donations in. So between those and registration, we're already, like I said, we're already at $25,000. And then Dodge again has stepped up through the FCA Foundation, and they're donating another. They're matching our donation up to $25,000 again. So we're already at $50,000 without question. Hopefully we can maybe get to 60. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, let's try to get to 60. That's excellent. But it sounds like, I mean, all the effort you put forth, it really pays off.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, everybody's having fun. We've got Dodge here sponsoring. East Coast Moparts is back again this year as one of our top 2 sponsors. Mm-hmm. They stepped it up again this year too. So we thank you guys for everything that you do.
Oh, we love it.
But yeah, I mean, just everybody having a good time and like I said, making money for the cause. Well, this year we're at Dominion Raceway. We started talking to the owners.
Well, it's almost.
Yeah. Well, the property for the future Dominion Raceway.
Yeah.
But just to give an idea, the facility, they started working on the facility about 3 or 4 months ago. Mm-hmm. This was all trees and nothing.
Yeah.
3-4 months ago. So. Next year, we're going to have a 2-mile road course. We're going to have a drag strip. We're going to have an oval course. We can have autocross. So here, yeah.
We're going to do it again here next year.
This is now the permanent home for Moparpalooza.
Oh,
so
that's good to know.
And the owners have basically donated the facility for the day. So I mean, they're obviously taking a hit to have people here. They paid a premium in order to make sure that we had a place to park. Here today.
Wow.
So they've they're really our partner now in this in the event, and they've done everything they could to pull
make it work. And yeah, well, thank you so much. I hope that I know it's a little stressful getting these things pulled off, but you definitely have done a wonderful job, and we thank you for talking with us and sharing with us.
And thank you guys for supporting the event.
Oh, absolutely, we'd love it. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
What's your name?
My name's Jim Corbett.
Jim
Yes.
Corbett. All right. I
Yes.
really would love to know a little bit about your car. Can you fill us in?
Well, this is my 8th Moparpalooza, by the way. I've been to every one since the very beginning. This is my 07 Chrysler 300C. It's bagged and blown. Sponsored by Billet Technology and BFMY Performance.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Pro Charger. We were at the track yesterday, so it's very dirty today, but we did run at the track yesterday. I drive it every day, even in the snow. Exactly.
Now, do you have a name for your car?
Damage Inc.
We see that right there?
Yes. One of the Metallica songs, Damage Inc. Goes back to my Army days. I used to have a bulldozer. The bulldozer's name was Damage Inc.
So you have been here, you said, since the beginning.
Very beginning.
So, I mean, you've seen it grow.
Yes.
And do you think each year there's more people, a bigger variety of cars, and they're just growing?
Back in the day before we ever had a Moparpalooza, we were meeting in parking garages in Rockville, on the top of a parking garage in Falls Church, Virginia, and then Emo and us enthusiasts decided to get bigger, and sponsors came along, and it has grown into just unbelievable. And
it's such a fun event. Yeah.
Wouldn't miss it.
And now that this is the home of it.
Yes.
Isn't that so
awesome.
cool? And you guys are here for the beginning of it?
Yes. I'm looking forward to what it's going to be, because for years to come, hopefully we can grow to double this size,
Absolutely.
I'd like it to be the largest Mopar show in the country. That's my dream, but I'll be here either way.
It'll happen?
Yes.
Good. Well, hopefully I'll be here too, and I'll see you next year.
All right,
We'll do this
thank you.
again.
We appreciate
Thanks.
it.
special family, and we have with us
JT.
Aaron,
Anna,
Robin, and Robin. And so it's not that often that we find wives that come to these events and kind of, I guess, and sometimes they say they just put up with it for their husbands, but you have your own vehicle here today too.
I do.
So which one is yours?
This one.
The truck, so which you maybe wouldn't typically put with you anyway. That's a big, nice looking truck. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
It is a Ram 1500 Sport, and it's all my baby.
You picked out, and have you done any changes to it?
I'm just getting started on it. I've dipped the rims and I've done the grill. It has a sound system in it.
What else are you looking to do?
I'm going to do the hood. It's going to have the theme going to it. It's the Harley Quinn. I'm going to do some work in the interior, and I'm going to do some work in the bed.
Well, I mean, but you're here. Have you been to these events before?
This is the first time at Moparpalooza, but we do shows all the time in North Carolina.
So you're just getting started with Moparpalooza, right?
Right.
Will you be back next year, you think?
Definitely.
Definitely. Do you guys think you're having fun this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to come back next year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about your car.
I got a 2012 Dodge Charger SXT. Got it bagged out. It's got the halos, custom sound system in the back. Pretty much just working on it overall.
Is there some other things you're looking to do in the
eventually
future?
I'll get some airbrushing done underneath the hood. Still got door lights and stuff I need to install.
And then I always like to talk to people too, because the main, I guess, appeal and attraction of the show, the main purpose is for donations to the Fisher House.
Mm-hmm.
And since you were part of the Marines, do you have a close connection to the cause?
We do. We've actually had a friend who's actually injured overseas, who he actually has received housing from the Fisher House out in California. So it's actually really nice to be able to give back to it.
You've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
And such a nice thing. Well, thanks so much for talking to us today.
Thank
and
you.
have fun the rest of the show. We'll see you next year. Okay. Is that a deal? All right. Yay! All right. What's your name?
Keita Nupin.
All right, so you really have a beautiful Viper, so I want to hear
Thank
a
you.
little bit about it. Can you tell us about your car?
Well, it's a 2009 ACR. It's the same body that they took to Nürburgring that got the track record over there. It's an amazing piece of machine. It's fun to drive, scary. It has a lot to produce. It produces a lot, actually.
How long have you had her?
About a year.
Have you gone on any? Do you drive her all the time? Is she your main car?
I'll take her up to the mountain and race her up in the mountain and stuff. Skyline Drive. Not the track, though.
Have you been to the Moparpalooza before?
Yeah, I've been to all of them, yeah.
This is the 8th one, so
Actually, this is my fourth one I've been to, yeah.
Okay, it's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, but the Vipers are starting to fade out. You're seeing less and less of them every year.
But you got to keep it. You got to keep it alive.
Yeah, I think there's today, what, 4 of us? It was 4 here, right? Yeah, there's 4 of us here. I know we did one in Chantilly. There was, I think, 20 of them that showed up there.
Wow.
But
so you got to get them on board to come here next year.
They don't like to represent, I guess. I don't know.
As long as you do, though.
No, I like coming out. It's fun. I mean, I've had my days of racing, but they tend to want to go race more than go out to show more. So.
Well, thanks for talking to us today.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay.
Such a unique vehicle, so we want to hear about it. You got to give us the lowdown.
Yeah, so this is a Prowler, but it's a little different Prowler. It's a Prowler with a Hemi motor inside of it, and it's an SRT Hemi motor 6.1. I started out like doing little racing and things of myself, and said one day, I really want to give this car kind of the life of what it actually could do, and thus born this idea of creating a Prowler with a Hemi motor in it. So it's been a pretty big invention. It's a crate motor. The car weighs about 2,900 pounds compared to about 4,500 of a normal Challenger Charger. So you have to drive it smart, but it runs like a regular car. You can drive it day in, day out. It does everything a normal car would do, and it's a little bit faster and fun. The last part that makes this car very interesting is this whole idea of a shaker hood. If you know anything about Mopars, the shaker was a very unique thing that was done in old Mopars. The challenge with this car is that the space is so small.
Now, do you drive it every day? How do you? when do you decide to drive it?
The Prowler is definitely a weekend car in itself, so I'd say, you know, Muzi on the weekends, go to car shows, then a couple road courses from here and there, but it's more of a leisurely fun car.
It's definitely a lot of fun. Do you have a name for it?
It's the Hemi Cat.
The Hemi Cat.
Yeah.
I like that. Cool. Well, thanks for talking to us.
No problem. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, what is your name?
My name is Justin Spurlock.
Justin Spurlock. Okay, so you have got a pretty unique ride with you. Can you tell us about it?
It's a 2007 Dodge Grand Caravan SXT. Basically, it's a daily driven vehicle. It's just real custom, and you know, just put my heart and blood, sweat, and tears into it, building it.
So you have sponsors for this. How did that come about?
It was actually a joke. I got in a car accident with it, and told somebody, I was like, hey, you know, let's get the first handicap van in SEMA. And they're like, okay, let's make it happen. And I was like, okay. Then they called me back like a month later. I was like, hey, you're in SEMA. Let's get sponsors. So I just started sending out letters, and I had people like JL Audio, Mothers, Borla Exhaust, Acura hop behind me, and Pia. And they're like, dude, this is the first day we want to be a part of it. The paint, it was originally orange with the black hood, and I dropped it off at a guy's shop. His name's Fred Sicoli. He's out of Philadelphia. He owns a company called Killer Creations. He would not tell me what I was getting. So I dropped it off. 3 months later, they pulled it off at the trail at SEMA, and I was pretty much in tears. So,
Is this your first Moparpalooza?
No, I actually came to one 3 years ago, and then I was here the year before last. And actually, Ralph got to see it when it was all orange.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm dying for them to see it now.
Yeah. Well, thanks for talking to us.
No problem.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right.
Thank
Okay, so we're here with Mike. He's got a really cool car, cool story. He's going to tell us a little bit about it. So get to it.
Okay, this is a Inertia Motorsports 6.66 liter stroker engine, NA high compression, and right now I'm running about 11.7 at 117 full weight. I drove here from New York with my 2 kids in the car, made about 10 passes, and I'm driving back home tonight.
The kids here now?
The kids are at the hotel because it's too hot. I had to brought them back to the pool.
Yeah, you can't tell by your accent where you're from either.
Oh no? Yeah, okay, I'm sure.
So what work have you done on this?
I've done everything. I got a shop in Long Island, and all these, everybody really, not everybody, but
you've got a whole crew right here on the strip that you work on.
Yeah, the whole crew, and some other people from out of state. I get a lot of out of state business too, but I pulled the old motor out. I got a guy in Texas, Inertia, built me an engine. I put it back in, and I install it, get it tuned, and it's on its way on the street.
How long have you had this one?
I had this car since 08. So now, wow.
I know, time flies. It's not even...
Wow, it's been a while.
I know.
Yeah.
So did you pick the color?
Yes.
And it came this way, or did you?
No, number 1301 and 1400. It's a limited production run in 2007. They made, the 1400 of them, and I got lucky and got 1301.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's only 40,000 miles on the car.
Do you drive it as
every
your main
day?
all
Yeah, but my shop is so close to my house, so it doesn't
that
really
kind of
count.
helps
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
bit. Do the kids love it?
Oh, my son loves it. My daughter loves it. My wife, not so much, but because she knows how much money I spent on it. But
and I'm sure you put a lot of time into
definitely.
it too.
I'm always working on it and tweaking it here or there, running it at the track. But she's just came with me for the first time to the track. So
really?
Yeah, she had fun too watching me race, and she said it was really fun. So hopefully we can do it more often.
That's your hope, because otherwise she'd be like pulling you back.
Otherwise it's hard to balance the time between the wife and the job and the kids.
Yes,
so hopefully I try to integrate it all. Yeah.
Is this your first time at Moparpalooza?
Yeah, my first year here. Yep, definitely.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. So many
cars. And then next year there's going to be a racetrack here.
Yes,
So
exactly.
will you be here? Will you be back?
I'll be here next year for sure, because yesterday we were out racing down in VMP. That's where we were racing. So hopefully next year they can do it in one venue, which would be awesome.
Right, it would be, yeah.
That would be awesome.
Been good. I'll see you here next year.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for talking to us.
No problem. Anytime.
Okay, so I'm here with John, and you have such a unique vehicle, so I want you to tell us all about it.
It's a 2005 Dodge Magnum RT. I bought the car with about 35,000 miles on it in 07, and started racing the car about 6 months after. We do all the work at actually my backyard in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then we have quite a few sponsors who have helped out with the car along the way. Eric Storms from BF&Y is the head wrench on the car, and the car actually just got back from a visit up to Eric, and we ran a new personal best of 10:44 at 132 miles an hour in the quarter mile.
Wow.
It's a daily driven car. I take my kids to school in it, and we're putting down around 800 horse.
Tell me a little bit more about the car and your racing.
Sure.
How often you're racing it?
I run in the Modern Street Hemi Shootout, which is was put together by enthusiasts, some modern Mopar enthusiasts, and we race 5 events a year up and down the East Coast. And we just had our event at Virginia Motorsports Park, which is our second event of the season. And we had our best turnout ever. We had 85 cars show up for that one. A lot of fun. We have, everything from the rookies to the veteran racers there.
What is it that you want to do next? Like, what is your? I mean, I'm sure there's just an.
I want to buy a trailer.
You want to buy a trailer?
I want a beautiful U-Haul trailer.
Yeah.
And so we do want to get a new trailer. And then the next step, actually Brent Hughes, who's my tuner, he's down in Virginia Beach. Brent and I are going to go try to hunt for 9s here, in the back half of the year and try to get the car down into the 9s. And my kids love it. It's a daily driven car again.
I bet.
And so we go to school and it beats the minivan.
Well, thanks for talking to us today. It was such an enjoyable. Sorry, you were eating my hair during this interview.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm starving, so it's good. It'll tide me over.
Okay, good. Thanks. Well, that's it for this 2015 Moparpalooza. It was another great show for a great cause. We'll see you next year. This time, I'm heading out topless.